Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So today is my very first day in the garden in 2024. So for those of you that don't know, I'm doing all of my gardening after my daytime job, and from the look of it, I may have a couple hours until the sun starts to set. So I am planning on doing as much of the pruning of the panicle as well as the smooth hydrangeas as I can today. And whatever I don't finish, I will probably have to continue tomorrow. What you are looking at right now is the quick fire hydrangea tree that I have in the front garden. And you can kind of see that last fall, I actually went in and did as much of the pruning as I could. I find that pruning in the fall actually helps the, branches on the canopy to stay upright and they don't end up breaking with the heavy snow that we normally get in the winter. So on this particular one now, the only thing that I have to do now is to remove all of the dead panicles just above the first or second set of leaf buds that I see. Give it a quick shape, kind of reshape it a little bit, and remove any dead stems or possibly remove about maybe 20 to 30% of the entire canopy, and no more than that. I find that this particular one does not need a lot of pruning. And here I have a little lime punch and I have three bobo hydrangeas there. And again, I'm just going to go in, clean away all the broken dead stems, and possibly keep 3 to 4 main thick strong branches, and also cut away all of the dead panicles from this past year as well. And here I have a bobo tree in this pot, and behind it I have a I think limelight cutting that grew so big within just one season. And then I have one here which is grown from seed. I am going to try to see if I could train it into a tree. And then I have a little lime here in the corner that I need to kind of prune away the thin stems and the dead panicles and broken branches as well. And then this one here, it is my vanilla strawberry tree. Now this one, I don't know if you remember, but it has grown so much. Look at the size of the actual trunk now. It's gotten to, I think, about 1 inch diameter, so that looks really amazing. Now this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut away all of the stems in between. Here's another close-up. So you can kind of see that I want to keep these stems here, which is a part of the canopy. So I'll cut away this and just keep these 3 right here. And then same thing here with this branch as well. I will cut away this and this one and just keep the stems at the end there. And then for each of the stems at the end, what I might do is I will cut away maybe by 1/3, and that way I can keep 2/3 of each of these stems at the end here. So here on this little island of the front garden, you see I have 3 bushes of the bobo panicle hydrangeas, and this is where I normally get a lot of broken branches because this is where we pile all of our snow during the winter. And fortunately for us, this past winter we had very little snow pile up here, and so these branches don't look like they are physically broken, but in closer inspection I'm actually not seeing a lot of leaf buds on them. So I'm a little worried because I feel like there's going to be a lot of dieback on them, and I'm gonna have to go in and do a lot of pruning here. And here you are looking at the quick fire fab. So my goal right now, I think, is to cut away all of these flimsy branches here and possibly keep about 3 upright, strong looking stems and grow it into a more compact bush with 3 main trunk here. And here's my second vanilla strawberry tree that I have. So this one's the same goal will be like what I said with the other one. I will probably keep this main stem here, I will cut away this one, and then keep these 3 stems at the end, and then prune each of those stems back by a third. Similarly here with this stem, I will cut away this one. I just keep the 3 at the end, and that's sort of the goal that I have for these. Initially, I had to keep more because the trunk was kind of looking bare because I didn't have a, very big canopy. But now that the tree is a bit more mature, I don't need to keep as many stems now, and I should be able to get a nice, healthy, full-size canopy this year with the way that I've pruned it back. And while I'm at it, I'm actually going to remove this tree or this stem right here, and I'm going to put it into a separate pot and give it away to a friend that's been asking for it since last year. And here is a firelight that I have in this pot. Most of the old panicles have either been broken off or cut away last year, so I don't have to do very much here other than just to cut back each of these stems by a third, and anything that's flimsy looking like this one here in between, I think I'm going to cut that off as well. So that's pretty much all that I'm going to do with the plants at the front. Here I am in the back garden, and you can see I still have many blooms or panicles or hydrangea blooms from the past season still attached to the plants. So there's going to be a lot of pruning that I have to do for all of the plants here in the back garden. And here is a fairly young limelight hydrangea tree that I've got in this pot. And you can kind of see that I have this already pruned last year in the fall, I think in the early winter. And you can kind of see that I normally don't do this in the fall. You normally wait till the spring to prune, but this one, I think some of the branches were so droopy that I ended up doing that in the fall, and it looks like it's still doing okay, but I still have a few flimsy branches that I think I need to remove here on this limelight. And here's my limelight prime, and I think it's actually doing okay as well. I do have some old panicles I still have to remove, and some old flimsy branches I think I have to do some removing here as well. And here I have one limelight tree in that corner, and I also have another one in that corner there. Now with the limelights here, I don't actually prune these back. I just really cut away the flimsy branches and the old blooms just at the base, okay? Because I actually want the blooms to be smaller and the stems to be stronger. So that's how I sort of control the floppiness on the 2 limelights that I have in the corner here. And here I have a bulb in this pot. It's grown so big that I think I have to come in and prune this a bit because it looks like it's quite messy. This one is another bulbo tree that I have. Now this one has many broken branches. I do have to do a little bit of pruning there just to remove the old panicles here. And here in this corner, I have a firelight tidbit that's has a lot of broken stems and branches. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more pruning here and maybe take it down by a third. And then I'm going to similarly do the same to all of the bulbos that I have in the back garden. But I do have a firelight, original firelight hydrangea here that I have to take it down a little bit more than I normally do, just to kind of reduce the size a little bit, because I find that, they tend to grow a little bit better with pruning now that the firelights are more mature. And I have another one on the other side over there as well, which will do the same. So here's how everything in the back garden looks after I did some pruning in the span of, I think, 5 hours in total. I did about maybe 2.5 hours yesterday and another 2.5 hours today. And you can kind of see, look at the sky, the sun is about to set. And here's a closer look of the limelight on the east side of the garden. I did as little pruning as possible, pretty much just cut each panicle back at the base. That way I have smaller blooms and they're going to be on stronger, sturdy stem and less floppy, sort of like how I pruned it last year. And here is one of the firelights, which is the one on the east side of the back garden. And here is the firelight on the west side. And here is the other limelight on the west side of the back garden. So here is how the front garden is looking right now. The quickfire hydrangea is actually doing so well this year. I have very little dieback, so I'm very thankful for that. And it's probably because we did not have a lot of snow this past winter. I had also very little dieback on the little lime punch as well as the 3 bulbos here. And the little lime here, the regular or the original little lime here also did very well with very little dieback. So I'm very thankful for this bed, how it turned out this spring. And here are some of the hydrangeas that I have in containers. There in front here you see that beautiful, gorgeous bulbo that I have here in this container for a few years already. Everything is starting to bud up nicely. And here I have that cutting of the original limelight here. It's quite advanced in terms of, leafing out. So that's looking beautiful. I have this one that I grew from seed that I'm trying to train into a tree. And then this one is one of the 2 vanilla strawberry tree form that I have. So you can kind of see I cut back all of the branches in between and just kept the branches at the end here, and that will be now hopefully a much fuller tree. So initially, like I said, I had kept more stems along the sides to make it a bit fuller, but now that it's starting to be a little bit more mature, I now removed all of the stems in between. So, and that as well is budding up quite nicely. So really thankful for that. And here are some more of the hydrangeas that I have from seed. This was a little tiny baby last year and it's leafing out quite early as well. I've got another one here and another one there. And then I've got also this one that I grew from seed as well. And then I've got another one over here and so on. So everything is looking quite nice compared to some of the plants that I have in the other bed. And while we're on the topic of hydrangeas in containers, I have this tiny tough stuff in container. It's been in this container for, I think this is its 2nd or 3rd year, I forget now. But look how beautiful it is looking right now. It's leafing out all the way from top to bottom of the stem. Look at that. I do have some stem dieback, but the majority of it is leafing out. So I'm expecting lots of blooms on this one here this year. And here's another one of the hydrangeas that I grew from seed. And you can kind of see that it's starting to leaf out there nicely. And this one is the little baby that I detached from the vanilla strawberry in container that I showed you earlier. And look at this, it's starting to leaf out already. Look at that. So this is going to be going to a friend's house very soon. And here's the original or the mother vanilla strawberry plant. So just like the other one that I showed you, I did also remove all of the stems on the side and just kept the 3 at the end. So that's going to be a much fuller, more mature hydrangea tree there. And this one here is the firelight that I have in container for, oh dear, maybe 3 years now. And look at how far ahead the plant is compared to the rest of in the garden. And here's that tiny little quick fire fab that I have in container, I think last year. So this is its 2nd year in this container, and look how far ahead it is doing as well. So it's going to be gorgeous. And here's the quick fire fab that I have in this garden. So I pretty much try to cut away all of the weak stems and keep, initially I thought I was going to keep only 3 stems, but I thought, I'll do that next year. Let it, have some more time to, mature a little bit more before I start pruning it down to 3 stems. But it's looking gorgeous right now. So just like what I had anticipated, these three bulbs here, especially this one at the corner, had a lot of dieback. So I started pruning, and then I realized that the branches had no green in them. So I continued to prune, and I found that all of the stems here were completely dead, except for the one here that has a little bit of green growth on it. And luckily, the other two are still in very good condition. So one of the explanations that I can think of here is probably the lack of moisture that I had this past winter, or possibly this particular plant. I don't know if you remember, but in the past couple seasons, I found that there was some kind of animal that kept on wanting or kept on digging around the base of this plant. So that could have created a lot of damage on the roots, and therefore made it more prone to die back this past winter. So that's pretty much it. And that also explains why, all the tulips that I plant last fall, as well as some of the daffodils that I have here, didn't come back because I found that this past winter we didn't have a lot of snow coverage, and whatever that was digging around here dug up all of the bulbs and ate them. So that could be another reason too. So I'm not sure. So that pretty much concludes today's video. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.